guys, it's your girl Melissa, aka Mel the Motivator, and thank you so much for stopping by my little old channel, okay? And if you are on this side of my channel, you specifically want to know about bariatric content, my bariatric journey, all of that good stuff. So if that's you, continue watching. If not, go ahead, take a look at some other stuff on my channel. Maybe I have something for you. So if you are still here and you want to know about my experience with the 2-week pre-op diet, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's not waste any more time. So I'm looking at my notes, y'all. And like I told you about these allergens out here, pray for me as I pray for you. Okay. So the 2-week pre-op diet, I decided to purchase one of the plans from the hospital. They already had all of the shakes and the snack, the protein bars and the soups and all of that. So I decided to purchase that. Now, ask me whether I regret it or not. I can't say that I regret it, but I can't say it was the best decision. The jury is still out on that, okay? By the way, I'm enjoying this blue on me. I don't know if it's coming on camera the way it looks right now, but it looks like it's vibrant. But anyway, that's not what we're here for, okay? So with the pre-op diet, I started it at the beginning of January, and they said to drink 3 shakes, a protein bar, and one of the soups. And then I was also able to have like 1 salmon, like a 3-ounce salmon or chicken, or 1 egg or 2 eggs, so however many eggs they said, and some cheese or whatever. But I could only have 1 from, they had a list A and a list B. So I could only have 1 from list A and 1 from list B. So for example, in addition to all the shakes and stuff, I could have salmon and then eggs, or chicken and some string cheese, or you know what I mean, that or that. But I actually had some days I had both of those items from list A or list B, you know what I mean, and not one or the other. It was just it's just what I needed to do to get by, okay? The shakes, they could have been worse, is what I'll say. They could have been worse. They could have been better, but they could have been worse. The soups could have been better. The protein bars they were okay. They were okay, but it could have all been better, in my opinion. Like, looking back on it now, they could have all been better, but it served its purpose. It served its purpose on what I had to do. Now, I was supposed to get down 3 shakes. I could only do 2. I could only do 2. I could only do 2 shakes. Me and protein shakes were not, or certain protein shakes before this process, like, we weren't the best of friends, you know. We really didn't vibe. We didn't click. Because I wasn't like a milk based person, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know, it's just something about it that, like, it just wasn't, you know what I mean? It just wasn't. So I had to get through that. But surprisingly, like, I made up in my mind before the pre-op diet that however it tastes, however it was, I was just going to do it. Like, I was just going to do it, period. It didn't matter how it tasted. It didn't matter what it was doing. Like, I was just going to do it. I was going to stick to it. And I was just going to prove to myself that I can commit and stay consistent like that was important to me, because a lot of times in my life I start stuff and then don't finish it, or I get bored with things and so then I move on to the next thing, or excuse me, my vitamins, sorry. Or I would get bored with some things and then just leave it or just move to the new thing. So I just wanted to commit. I wanted to stay consistent. I wanted to prove myself that I had self-discipline. So surprisingly, I stayed with the diet. I didn't cheat a whole lot, I guess. So the extent of my cheating was, like I was saying, I would eat the two things from list B or list A instead of 1 and 1, or I had popcorn. Towards the ending of the 2-week diet, which I know that's like I did it backwards. I was supposed to cheat at the beginning. I had popcorn. Oh yeah. I remember. So at the beginning of the 2-week pre-op diet, my glucose levels went low, and so natural habits, I went back and I ate like a couple of Mike and Ikes. Yeah. I don't do that anymore, but that's what I did. So that's the extent of my cheating on the diet. But for the most part, I ate what I was supposed to eat. I drank what I was supposed to drink. I got my water in and all of that. And overall, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Overall, oh yeah, and then I had 2 forks of spaghetti, like 2 fork things of spaghetti, because I made spaghetti for my husband so he could have something, you know what I mean, as I was going through this journey, bless his heart. And so I think I stuck to it about 98% of the time, and the 2% was the things that I mentioned. So overall, in the 2 weeks, the 14 days, I lost 12 pounds off of that diet alone. Now, it's not something that you should be doing long term, and that's why they just do it so you can get your body prepared for surgery. Because what was explained to me and what really is reality is that it's about shrinking the size of your liver, which sits on your stomach. So for my surgeon to do the surgery safely and properly, my liver has to be a certain size so he can, lift it up, because it was done laparoscopically. Hopefully that's how you say it. So he's just going in there robotically, and he needs to be able to lift my liver up to get to my stomach how he need to get to it. And if I was eating what I wasn't supposed to be eating or drinking what I wasn't supposed to be drinking, that would have made my liver heavier than it needed to be. And that, it would just complicate things. So that's why I was trying to make sure that I stuck to it. I was beating myself up about it by doing the little cheating that I did. And I was saying, oh my gosh, is my liver gonna shrink enough? Or like, oh my goodness, did I mess everything up? Like, I was beating myself up about it until I started looking at people online or their experiences, and they were like, man, I had this, I went to Red Lobster, I went to Olive Garden before my surgery, and I did this, that, and the third. So I said, oh, okay. So I wasn't, too bad, because I didn't do any of that. Like, I was hyper focused. And by the end of the 2 weeks, man, I abandoned those protein shakes and powders. Matter of fact, I abandoned that whole plan altogether. Not the eat consistently, but just like the protein shakes and those soups. I couldn't take it. Matter of fact, let me just show you as proof. Okay, I had to go get my proof. These are not even all of them. These aren't all of them. I gave some to my mom. She ain't use them, but like, just so you can see what it looked like. It's called Numetra Weight Management System. So they came in boxes, but in the directions, that was strawberry. This is vanilla. Now, the vanilla ones, I would say, probably taste the best because they didn't taste overly sweet. They didn't taste overly sweet. The chocolate and the strawberry, like, they were the sweetest. And by my chair, donate to the chair fund that I don't have. By the ending of the 2 weeks, I couldn't. And the crazy thing is, by the end of the 2 weeks, they wanted you to increase the amount of shakes. So from 3 to 4 and cut out the protein bar. So, yeah, that wasn't working for me. I wasn't even getting down 3. I was only getting down 2. You know what I mean? So, nah. I just ended up, I don't even think some days I even had the soup. For the most part, I think I did, but I just had enough. I didn't want to make myself sick, you know what I mean, by continuing to try to put something down that I knew my body wasn't trying to agree with. So I ended up just searching for other alternatives within the protein shake area to see like what I liked. I knew I liked the Premier caramel protein shake, but I said, you know what, I want to find something else. Lo and behold, I found my baby, the one that I still use to this day, and that is the Ensure Max protein, not to be confused with the Ensure High protein or whatever it is. Ensure Max protein. When I read the stats, it was like everything that I was getting, and it only has 6 carbs, I think. 6 carbs, 1 gram of sugar, 150 calories, and all the vitamins and nutrients that I needed. So I switched to those for the last few days, and I'm glad I did. Don't have no regrets about that. I don't have any regrets about not drinking these protein powder shakes. Even to this day, like, I don't like protein powder stuff that I have to mix. No, it's something about it. Like, that's just, it's not for me. It's not my ministry. So yes, I pay a little extra to get the Ensure, but you do what you do, I'm gonna do what I do. This stage, honestly, this stage right here, the pre-op, to me was the hardest. Out of just looking back, was the hardest, or one of the hardest to experience and to go through, because one, I still had the ability to eat how I used to eat, even though I already beforehand changed like my habits, but I still had the ability to like eat a pastry if I wanted to eat a pastry, or eat a cake if I wanted to eat a cake, or something like that. I had to tell myself no. I had to say no. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I had to tell myself no while everyone else was telling themselves yes around me. Like, that was, I would say, one of the hardest. It was the hardest stage for me, but overcame it. By the grace of God, I overcame. And if you want to know more about like this stage, I talk about it in my podcast episode about, this whole phase, and you want to know some more details and other little things and trinkets, you can go ahead and take a look at that. I will link it somewhere for in this video. So that is what I experienced during my pre-op phase. I think the anticipation and the excitement of like going through the process really kind of kept me like, oh my gosh, I'm almost here. Excuse me. I'm almost here. I'm almost there. I'm almost to the finish line. Like I can't, like I came this far. Like I'm ready. So I think that's what kept me going. So like, you know, it is what it is. And then during this time, I was going on TikTok. I was scrolling and seeing how everybody else's journey was. I don't recommend doing that like incessantly. I don't recommend doing that. I feel like you should get a couple of people that you vibe with, like just from their personality on the screen and whatnot, that you vibe with and that you think is going to set you up in a good mindset. And I literally had to put a note on my phone saying, stop looking at yourself and comparing yourself. Is just not, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Find a couple people that you know, like, okay, I see that they're positive, their vibe is good, you know what I mean, and just stick with them and just use everybody else just like, okay, as a point of reference, but not as something, or not as how your situation or how your journey is going to be. Because I tell you, baby, if you look, you just only have to spend 5 minutes on TikTok, for instance, and you're going to find 10 different experiences. Like, don't compare yourself. Don't compare your journey. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare your success. Don't compare any of that to you or to a next person. It's not going to be the same. Our body's not going to be the same. Even though you are deciding to get this surgery, and everybody who has been on this journey has made that decision, that doesn't mean it's going to affect you the same. It doesn't mean that you're going to have the exact same experience, which I've come to find out, which I've come to learn. So just embrace it as your own. It's your journey, not anyone else's. Even the things that I'm telling you, you may have a complete different experience, but just use it as a point of reference, not as gospel, not as something that is going to happen to you. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, so that's all that I have for you this time around. If you have gotten to this point in the video and you like what you heard and you want to know more and learn more, or just experience more with me, go ahead and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you know when I drop a new video. And not only do I have bariatric content here, I have some other stuff, so go check it out. I mean, why not? You already here. So yes, let me go. In the meantime, just stay healthy, stay positive, stay motivated, and I will catch y'all in the next video.